Hey, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 7th of April, 2023, guys. So, yep, welcome, everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session. So, yep, happy Good Friday to those who are celebrating. So, yep, congratulations to you guys. But yeah, guys, before we jump into the charts, the usual, by the way, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimers. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. I'll disappear here for a little bit. Okay, guys, so, okay, now then, I can see a little bit of blur on my side here on my right ear, but, okay, maybe this fixed here, but anyway, guys, okay, look, right, now then, before we jump into the charts, it's going to be a very quiet day, as you understand. The markets are closed, the top indices are closed. So, yep, before we jump into the charts, just a quick mentioning of our Easy Markets website, which you can always check out for more information about us. So yeah, guys, check out our conditions, different trading options. So, yep, I believe you can find something useful. Now, let's jump into the charts. The first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. Obviously, yes, we did get some movement today. It was open, but yeah, you can see that volatility today will be on the lower side, guys. So probably the main thing that you could keep an eye on for today would be the currencies, basically. So let me just adjust this camera a little bit. Okay, so okay, there is a little bit of flare, but on my side here, but okay, maybe I'll get rid of that later on. Look, Nikkei 225. Okay, the way we can position ourselves for next week. Basically, because we are going to get some data today, we're going to get the NFPs that are, by the way, expected to come out lower than the previous number. So let's see how those are going to come out. Because look, I think this day is a good day for you to just scroll through all the charts. I mean, try to see if we have any interesting setups or something like that. And this is exactly what I'm going to do today in this session. And basically, we could position so that we could position ourselves for next week. So look, Nikkei 225. This one I said to you previously that if we push back above the 38.2, then I'll consider maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the upside. But at this point, yeah, we're just forming something like this. And look, my little concern here is that maybe we'll, let's say, push a little bit higher again on Monday. We'll go above this 38.2, but we're not going to go, let's say, too much to the upside. And at the end of the day, we're just going to form something of a bearish flag, and then we're going to drop lower. Now, again, this is quite possible, especially if we fall below this little area right here, the current, the lowest point of this week near the 27,493. Look, I think what I'm going to do here, I think I'm going to, although I don't want to, you know what? No, I said I wanted to remove the Fibonacci, but actually, this area here for me works perfectly for the upside. The 27,863, approximately around here. If we push through it, then yes, I will go a little bit more to the upside. Now, I have my arrow drawn all the way towards this 28,393 right here, but actually I need to put it somewhere around here. Why? Because we have a downside line which we need to kind of keep an eye on, keep a close eye on. So yep, it could be an interesting one, could play out, could provide a bit of resistance. So that's why you need to be a little bit more on the careful side, guys. Now, but currently, from the very, very short-term perspective, what I'm leaning to here is maybe a bit of downside, because again, if this is going to form what I think it's going to form, if it's going to form something like a bearish flag, then well, we could see some downside. And in terms of my downside, this is the arrow needs to go, I think, this way. Let me zoom in here. Maybe I'll have a little bit more space. But basically, for the downside, if we drop below that 27,493 territory right here, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, and we could target the 200-day EMA, or maybe even that that 60 that 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. So so yeah, we've done the 23, the 38.2, and now we could be aiming for that 50-day EMA. So let's keep an eye on that one, guys. Jumping into SX200, so also kind of stayed in this area. And look, I talked about this territory the whole week, and I said that if we somehow manage to remain above it, great. I will go further north. But given that we had already quite a decent up move here, a bit of a retracement here was and still needed, I think. So look, that's why I have my Fibonacci's drawn here, and if we do kind of let's say do fall below this highlighted territory, I'll go towards that 23.6 here on my Fibonacci, which is approximately around that 7,190 territory. So something like that here. Then if it holds, something like this could be possible. So this is what I'm gonna keep an eye on. If we fall below the 23.6, okay, I'll go further south, I'll go lower, but at this point, like I said, this is my little game plan for ASX 200 for the Australian index. So let's see how this is going to play out. In case this decides not to go below this highlighted zone and starts pushing back up, my ideal scenario for the upside in that case will be from here. So initially I'll keep an eye on that 7,293 right here, and then if we clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and my next target will be this 7,331 zone. Although I have my arrow drawn all the way here, but look, I think the arrow is going to get very, very small here. So this is quite an important area of resistance, the 7,331. So keep that in mind. But yeah, if we clear that 7,293, then yes, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high, and potentially more buyers could join in. Now, Nifty 50, the India's index. Look, what I talked about this one as well was that if we break the downside line and we push above all of the EMAs and stay above them here on my daily chart, then yes, I will go further north. I will target the 17,867. If that gets cleared, then yes, my next target is the 18,155 territory right there. So far, so good, I would say. And yeah, look, I mean, don't get me wrong, at some point we will get a correction. The question is, of course, when will we actually get a move all the way to that 17,867 and then, let's say, retrace back down? Again, this could be a nice scenario. Let me just actually grab another arrow. So yeah, this in a way we can consider right now, because like I said, if we continue to trade above all of the EMAs here on my daily chart, yes, I'm aiming higher, but I'm only aiming towards this 17,867. Here we might get a little hold up. If we do, then a bit of a retracement here could be possible. Why? Because we kind of had already quite a decent move here to the upside without any correction. So yeah, we need some sort of a retracement here at some point, but again, let's not rush into anything at the moment. Is everything's under buying interest, so let's for now target the upside. and aim for that 17,867 territory. Now the S&P 500. Okay, look, the NFPs are coming out today. The employment numbers are coming out from the US today. So the NFP is expected to come out lower. And okay, this is where the interesting moment will be. So we had some bad data this week, recently in general, coming out from the US. If, let's say, the NFPs come out even below the forecast, because the forecast is already on the lower side. So the previous numbers was 311K. The forecast is at 239K. So if that comes out, if the actual number comes out below that, even below the forecast, well, this is where it could become interesting, because yes, this is bad, but this could, in a way, push the Fed maybe from raising rates during the May meeting. However, of course, there's going to be a lot of subject to before that, because the May meeting is on the 3rd. So I think, yeah, the 3rd of May. Look, currently we have this 50-50 here on the Fed Watch tool, so on the target rate probability. Okay, yes, the market is undecided right now, and also the market is watching the number today, the employment number. The unemployment, by the way, is expected to stay the same at 3.6. However, if it comes out higher than the 3.6, then and the NFPs come out lower than the forecast, well, this is, like I said, this could be an interesting one, because the Fed might, yeah, maybe consider more the holding off from kind of raising rates. So, long story short, for now, I would say if the numbers come out lower, this may play out positively for the indices. And imagine the scenario right now that let's say numbers come out, as I said, lower, much lower, and the unemployment is higher. And yes, we have a nice acceleration here in the stock market. In general, the Fed will say, hey, you know what, maybe maybe we're not going to do any increase in rate rises, rate increases in May. However, keep your eyes on the inflation number next week. We have the U.S. inflation number coming out next week, so that's going to be a determining factor. But if, let's say, the stock market continues to rally all the way to the Fed meeting, I think that still the 25 basis points could come. So, but again, I don't have a crystal ball, just kind of my, ideas coming out of my bald head. So, let's see how that's going to play out, of course. Now, certainly, what's next? DAX. Oh, by the way, the technical picture on the S&P. Look, I talked about this idea. I said that if we do correct a little bit lower, but stay somewhere above the crossroads between these two trend lines, yes, we could see a push back up. My next target is still this 4,168. If we, we can go test that one. If we clear it, then yes, I'll go further north. For the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below this this highlighted area right here. But I mean, I could keep an eye on this 4,082. If we start falling below it, then yes, I will get a little bit more excited with further downside. The German index, DAX. Look, this one's, yes, of course, as you know, by the way, today is going to be closed. So we have the futures here working. This is my futures chart, by the way. So we have the futures sitting here. I mean, it's going to be flat, honestly. It's like, but we'll see if we can get some volatility during, in the crypto world and maybe in the currency pairs. But again, let's wait and see. The German index, DAX. So yes, we look at this. I talked about this yesterday, and I said that in order for me to go lower, although we fell below that 15,700, I said in order for me to go lower, I need to see a drop below this 15,500, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. Yes, we broke that upside line, but this is one of those scenarios when, yes, it kind of it was a very tentative line, and that's why it kind of really didn't. That's why I got rid of it, because again, it got violated, but not in that way as I wanted. So that's why I removed it, and now I'm still focusing on that 15,815. As you can see here, yesterday we found good resistance near it, so good. If we clear that area, I will go higher here. I will go towards the, towards that 16,000 mark or even above that. For the downside, as I said, 15,500 level, that's what I'm keeping a close eye on. And by the way, depending on how the numbers are going to come out today, keep your eyes on, like I said, on Monday. We will have like an interesting moment when the market opens up. So yeah, the U.S. market is going to open up, and yes, this is where it's going to be interesting to see how much we're going to gap, and in which direction, or maybe we're not going to gap at all. But let's wait and see. So that's why I strongly recommend, guys, don't try to, okay, if you're trading futures or cash indices, then I don't know, like, try maybe not to hold them over this period, just to protect yourselves. And yeah, it might, okay, on one hand it might work out nicely if you got the correct correction, the correct move. But if it doesn't, then look, you're on the opposite side, you're on the losing side. So just kind of don't blow up your your balances. Now is this DXY, the dollar index. So yesterday we had a bit of a hold up here. So I talked about this 101.72. I said that if we push and stay above it, I'll consider a larger correction here to the upside. Well, we struggled, and again, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this one on Monday to see how it's going to open up, and then we'll go from there. If we do push back above the 101.72 territory right here, I'll go towards this downside line taken from the high of the 24th of March. In terms of the downside on this one, well, pretty straightforward. At least to drop somewhere below this territory is needed. In order below this 101.09 territory is needed. If we do fall below it, then yes, I'll aim for this lowest point of this year, the current lowest point of this year. If we clear that, well, this will confirm a forthcoming lower low, guys, and we will have to start examining the much lower levels here. Like, for example, like this line. Yep. Like, for example, this one, the 99.80, or even a little bit lower below that, the 99.55 territory. So let's keep an eye on that one. Gold, jumping into gold. Yesterday we saw a bit of a roller coaster ride here, and okay, we stayed near the 2007 mark. We fell below the 2010 zone. Look at this, and I talked about this idea here, maybe to have a a retracement, a rebound from this 2010. But look, we fell below it. Does that mean that I'm getting very, very bearish? No. Why? Because okay, we drifted lower. We might see maybe a continuation move here, a little bit more to the downside, maybe towards this little territory, the 2003, a retest of it. But I think that for the downside, you need to keep an eye on this level here, the 1990 zone. If we fall below it, I will consider a larger correction to the downside. But if as long as we stay somewhere above that 2000 mark, guys, this little correction here could be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying, and also could form a bullish flag. We have our pole. We're currently forming something of a bullish flag. Let's see if that's going to be the case. Yeah, if we do correct a little bit more here, maybe test that 2000 mark, and then yes, we rebound. Like I said, beautiful flag formation could be possible. So let's wait and see. So okay, now silver, very quickly on that one, similar story, to be honest. Look, this one's doing a little bit better than gold. Yes, we actually rebounded nicely here from my territory, from my 24.64 zone. Okay, great. What's next? So basically now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep an eye on this barrier, the 25.14, If we clear that, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high and potentially could open the door towards my other target, the 25.75 territory, and then we'll take it from there. The 25.75 is the inside swing low here of the 18th of April of 2022. And if we clear that, then yes, I'll go further north. But again, I'll go slowly on this for now. Like I said, on one hand, it is also forming a possible bullish flag, but a confirmation break is needed through the upper side here, through the current highest point of April, by the way. If we do clear this 25.14 zone, yep, there could be more buyers joining in. Oil, jumping into oil, guys. So yes, it's closed. Of course, the market is closed, but we're still positioning ourselves the same as I talked throughout this whole week. I need to see a clear push through this highlighted zone right here, which is kind of approximately around that 81, between the 81.73 and the 82.64 levels. Look, ideally, that's ideally, but I will start looking at some higher levels already if we do push above the 200-day EMA, because so far it's providing good resistance. So in order for me to go further north, I need to see a clearance of that 200-day EMA. For the downside, short-term downside, by the way, because again, if we do fall below the 79 zone right here, then yes, I will consider a move towards this upside line taken from the low of the 20th of March, and then we will take it from there. So natural gas, guys, something that I don't look at very often, but I still occasionally, you know, throw my eye on those. And look, I mean, I'm going to cover a few commodities here, so which I don't normally cover, but look, they are presenting themselves with nice opportunities, because look, on one hand, we are seeing a slide here in natural gas. I mean, from the levels that where we were previously last year, I mean, all the way to this is quite a substantial loss. Now we're kind of near the $2 mark here. Okay, look, if we do fall below that $2 mark and stay below it, well, I am leaning further south, guys. My next target is around here near the 1.78 zone. 1.80 zone. That's going to be my next target. And then, of course, all eyes are going to be on that 1.5 territory, approximately around here, guys. I mean, that 1.5, it's quite an interesting one. So, long story short, basically, what I'm leaning here to is that this is quite interesting, because if we fall below that $2 mark, this opens up the door towards these lower levels. However, don't get me wrong, this commodity will not stay at these levels at some forever. We might see that rebound. And even if you're gonna just go back to the $3 mark, hey guys, that's 100. If let's say you pick it up, you know, from around 2 here, and you wait until the 3, so congratulations, you made 50%. So but again, this is a tricky one, because at the moment there is a problem with the demand. Everybody's kind of turning to other green sources like solar and stuff like that. So yes, that's good and good approach too. However, I think that gas still might remain attractive, but especially depending on how we're going to go further, and if somehow we humanity create some sort of a something that helps our daily lives even more, but using natural gas as a resource, as a fuel, then well, expect this commodity to to push higher. At the moment, there is not much use. I mean, it's it's currently it's currently here where it is. So at the moment, I mean, I would say we need to wait. Look, and it has potential still to go lower, so just kind of be careful with that. But yeah, if this $2 territory somehow holds, okay, great, we could see a bit of a rebound here, maybe a pushback to the 50-day EMA here, and then we'll have to go from there. Basically, look, at this point I'm just observing the price action, but I just wanted to run this by you, show you this little territory right here to keep an eye on. And then yeah, we'll take it from there. We'll see. I'll pick up at some point this one maybe later on, and we'll see how it plays out, you know. Wheat. Yes. Okay. So look, I previously had talked about this as well, and it said, hey, maybe we're forming something of a double bottom here. Well, it was initially. I said that, look, keep your eyes on this neckline. We need to see a break of it, and we need to stay above it. We got the break, but we failed to stay above it. So, what's next? Well, again, I'm going to stick to the same trend line here, this downside line, taken from the high of the 2nd of March. I need to see a clearance of it in order to go higher. Simple as that. Because, again, now it's sliding. I'm not getting bearish, no, but if I'll get more bearish, if we start falling somewhere below this little territory, the 655 zone, just kind of the average between these two roughly. So if we do fall below the 655 territory, yes, I will go lower on this one. If we stay above it, or if we stay, let's say, here somewhere, maybe we could form a nice triple bottom. Although maybe some of you might say, but hey, what if it, you know, ends up stalling somewhere around here near the 665 zone? Yeah, could be the case, guys. Could be an interesting one. And then maybe we could class this as a, you know, as a kind of very complicated head, not a complicated, but very unattractive head and shoulders pattern. Because again, we still have the left shoulder here, we have the head, and maybe the, you know, the right shoulder could form here and then reverse back up. But again, trying to get ahead of myself here. I'm trying to kind of, you know, see the future, but unfortunately. But look, I'll just go from what I have. At this point, I'm just observing the price action. If we do start breaking this downside line, I'll go a little bit higher. If we do fall below the 655 territory, I will go lower. Cotton. Now, this one's interesting. Yesterday, we had a little bit of a boost here. I talked about this previously. I also mentioned in our ideas here on easy markets. So you can check out that. Now, look, this is very, this little structure here, what I have, it looks very bullish, to be honest. I mean, this, let me just put some of these guys up. So basically, this looks quite attractive because of this. So because it seems to be like forming a higher low, and it seems to want to go for a higher high, but again, some confirmation breaks are needed, so some clearances are needed. And in terms of getting comfortable with the upside, guys, I think still a break of that downside line is required just to be a little bit more on the safe side. Because why? Because I don't want to see a repetition of a hold up here somewhere. Let's say we push through the 83.93. Great, everybody is getting excited. You know, we push higher. We clear the 100-day EMA. Woohoo! Let's go further north, and then boom, we hit the downside line, and then drift back down. So we've seen something like that happening, you know, a few times, actually many times. So that's why I will get a little bit. Yes, I'll start looking at some higher levels from this 83.93, but I'll just be very careful and cautious because, again, this could reverse easily, you know, back to the downside. Litecoin, okay, still stuck. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching this in general, but Litecoin, I need to see a clearance of a clear move through one of the sides here, and I would need to see the body of the daily candle staying through, you know, above one of the through one of the sides here. So just keep an eye on that one. Dogecoin, so beautiful, beautiful. Look, I talked about this and I said if we fall back below, if we get, first of all, I mentioned this barrier. I said, like, if this holds, another decline here could be possible, maybe even all the way towards this upside line. But of course, initially I'll aim for the EMAs, and yes, I would say mission accomplished, to be honest. I mean, okay, we didn't really reach the upside line here, but okay, look, maybe it could go there. But in general, I'm quite happy with this one. So it fell back below the 0.0920. I said that if we fall below this as well, then yeah, this could increase the chances for a larger correction to the downside. So, okay, working out nicely. Now, in terms of, let's say, lower levels. Now, of course, a break of this upside line is required. Now, if we do break it, yes, we could go to the downside. We do have some levels here to keep an eye on. Actually, maybe more of this level here near the 0.707 level. And then, of course, if that gets clear, then the lowest point of March is the one to watch. But for the upside, look, I'll take a very conservative approach here, and I'll leave this whole area here just to continue observing it. But if we clear the 0.10 zone right here, I will go higher. Now, jumping into a few pairs, AUD/USD. Look, we had a nice hold up near the upside line. I talked about this in this week, and we rebounded from this upside line and kind of, trying to push higher again. But look, it's going to be a quiet day, so maybe the NFPs could move it a little bit, but don't put your hopes up too much. But yeah, let's keep an eye on this, how this is going to play out. But I'm gonna aim higher ideally if we do push above this 0.68 territory. Now, this downside line needs to go away, no longer needed. What I'm going to keep an eye on here right now is maybe something like this. Now, could be the case, could be a rising channel here. If that's the case, then, well, this is, yeah, we could still remain under buying pressure, but probably more buyers could join in on a break of the 0.68 zone. All this area right here is a little bit on the neutral side for me, so that's why I will just observe the price action. For the downside, I need to see a break of the lower side of the rising channel, and then I'm going to target the 0.6625 territory first. Although my arrow is drawn all the way here towards the lowest point of March, but actually I'm going to aim for the 0.6625 territory first, in case we break the lower side of this potential rising channel. AUDJPY, just a quick update. Look, I talked about this yesterday again with my little circles here. So the higher low is created, and look, we're having a nice little doji here, by the way. And yes, and if according to all the TA rules, technical analysis rules, these candlesticks tend to be reversal signals. But again, yes, it's not 100% that they work out like that. Most of the time they do act as a reversal signal, but sometimes, again, depending, yeah, it really depends sometimes. Honestly, you have to take case by case, and either way, guys, you still have to have your stop losses in place and only risk what you can afford to lose. So for example, here you're thinking, oh great, it's a doji, wonderful, I'm going to go long, and okay, you're working, it's working for you right now, wonderful. However, if we somehow, let's say, push higher a little bit, and we struggle, for example, this is another important thing, in like, if we struggle to overcome yesterday's high, which is around the 88.18, if we struggle to do that, another decline here. So we can ignore, then, we can, this could reverse back down and just ignore the whole doji and just fall off the cliff. So yeah, that's why I would say, yeah, it's a nice reversal little signal. Can it be a continuation further continuation move here to the upside? In the short run, yes, but looking at this right now, I can see that we're struggling to overcome yesterday's high. So that's why I'm going to take a very cautious approach here. Yes, I'm going to consider maybe a bit more upside here if we do clear yesterday's high, but only up until this 88.55. And I get it, it's a very, very narrow kind of area. But look, this is quite an important area for me, resistance. If we get a hold up here, another decline could be possible. NZDCHF, one of my favorite ones. Boom, there we go. Finally, honestly, finally I got the move. So we're, after a while of getting squeezed here, I'm getting my move. So yes, initially I said that, hey, if we clear the downside line here, we could go higher. We did initially, but I said we need to stay above it. So we failed to stay above this downside line, above this 0.5772, and we drifted back inside the pattern, and we broke the lower side of it, and we stayed below the lower side of this triangle. So what's next? Well, one of my targets got reached, 0.5664. Great, tick. My next target is the 0.5620, approximately around here. Not tick yet, but what I'm seeing here is that this 0.5664 is providing very good resistance. Yeah, it acted as a good area of support previously, but now it's acting as a good area of resistance. So let's see if we can get a continuation move further south. But only, like I said, towards this little territory, the 0.5620, approximately around there, guys. USD CAD. So pushed higher. Okay, great. I talked about this yesterday. Look, we are pushing to the upside right now, but can we actually say that, hey, maybe this is, working out nicely here? Look, this is my, this is my second least favorite pair after EURGBP. And if you remember on EURGBP, and I'll pick up on that, I said I'm going to apply the simplistic approach whenever it's kind of oscillating around the EMAs. And to be honest, I think that this is going to be the same thing here. I'm just going to apply the simplistic approach here on USD CAD as well, and I'm just going to go from the EMAs. So far, I think that it's working out. So look, one thing for sure, yesterday we saw this barrier getting violated, the 1.3488. I talked about it. We cleared it. We are now sitting above it still, and today we retraced a little bit lower, but this barrier provided good support, and now it seems like we could go back to that 100-day EMA. And to be honest, I'm going to aim for that. So, long story short, from the very short-term perspective, I'm aiming for this 100-day EMA as long as we stay above the 1.3488. If we fall back below it, then this is where maybe we could start looking at some lower levels. Yes, if we stay above this territory, I will go towards this 100-day EMA, because here I have the 1.3537 level, which I'm also keeping a close eye on. If we clear that one, I'll go a little bit more to the upside, initially towards that 50-day EMA, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, for the downside, my ideal scenario is a drop below the 200-day EMA, and then I'll take it from there. GBPCHF. Haven't looked at this one for quite a while, to be honest, and let me just remove all the drawings here. So one thing that I can see here overall is you can see that we are oscillating around the EMAs, especially the 50 and the 100-day EMA. So if you're looking for some higher levels on this one, well, this is where the tricky bit comes in, and we'll have to do a bit of a waiting game. So we'll have to just wait and wait ideally for a break through this maybe downside line here, something like that. Let me just put this on the chart. I think, yeah, something like this could be ideal. So look, a break above the 200-day EMA, although I would like to consider that as enough for the upside. However, as you can see, the previous history shows that it's not enough. So that's why I will wait for a break of this downside line taken from the high of the 31st of October. So this medium-term downside resistance line drawn from the high of the 31st of October. And also, just for that extra confirmation, a push up of the 1.1414 territory would be required, because look, this barrier provided fantastic resistance. So why not to consider it? If it's doing a good job, then hey, it might continue doing a good job. So that's why I will, for the upside, I will wait for a push above this hurdle, just to be a little bit more on the safe side. Because for the like I said, for the upside, it's just better to do that, because again, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high and potentially could attract more buyers, and we could then target that highest point of October of last year near the 1.1577. Now for the downside, all this activity is forcing me to be very conservative and take a conservative approach. So what I mean is that maybe a drop somewhere below this 1.1086, approximately around here, could be ideal. But then look, the problem is that we have this little hurdle here, the 1.0990, and we do below that a little bit have this 1.0997. 1.0897 territory, which could be a nice good target too. All this here, okay, look, I mean, if you do fall below this hurdle, this 1.1206, approximately around here, yes, I will slowly aim to the downside, but I'll be very careful here, because again, it's a very tricky spot here for me. Don't really like it. But yeah, and another thing why I'm keeping an eye on this 1.1206 is because maybe, just maybe, this could be something of a range here. So that kind of paradise for the range traders. So yeah, you could keep an eye on that one if you wish. Euro Aussie. So pop, and there we go, guys, to the upside. And this is what I was talking about. And look, I mean, we had that beautiful move again yesterday in my morning video. I said that, you know, we were already kind of, you know, climbing back above this area, and there we go. We stayed above that area. And the question is here now, if we can go and reach my target, the 1.6437. I talked about this level. This is the highest point of August of 2021, not the 2020. Actually, yes, the highest point of 2021 in general. So we're near that area, and my question is, can we break that area? If we can, I'll go further north. Yep, this would be a beautiful move further to the upside. Now, of course, I'll draw an upside line here, maybe somewhere from around here, something like that, guys. Yep, could be a nice, good line to watch, and exactly this is where my if we break this upside line, then yes, this could open the door to those lower levels, but also it's near my target, the 1.6139. If we clear that one, this could open the door towards some lower levels. Now, in terms of, yeah, as I said, the upside, look, I'm going to aim further north. As long as we stay above this 1.6254 territory right here, then yes, I'm aiming further north. Right, okay, EURGBP, honestly. Beautiful rebound from that 200-day EMA, or the area near that 200-day EMA. So, what can we do here next? Look, I said before, as long as we were kind of in between these EMAs, we're oscillating around those EMAs, I'm going to just kind of aim for those. Whenever, let's say we rebound from the 200, I will go towards the 100. If we clear the 100, I'll go towards the 50. If we get a hold up near the 50, I will aim back to the 100. So honestly, I'm not gonna, because this pair has a kind of a mind of its own, to be honest. I mean, it's very tricky. I mean, if you manage to master it, I've already mentioned this several times, if you manage to master it, congratulations, you're doing much better than me here, you know. So, but look, this one's a little bit on the tricky side, so just be careful, be cautious, and like I said, I will use my simplistic approach to this, and so far it seems to be working. I'm gonna stick to it. Once it stops working, I'll shift to something new. But if it starts dropping, let's say below the 200-day EMA, that's where I'm gonna get a bit more bearish, because again, this is quite an important area to watch. Let me probably highlight that for our future reference. So this little territory right here, if we clear it, then yes, I will go lower, because at the same time we would drop below some of these key support areas of mine, and this would confirm a forthcoming lower low. And EURCHF. So I haven't picked up on this one for quite a while. And look, previously I talked about this little hurdle here, the 0.9848. So far it's working, doing a good job as a support area. So if we clear that, then yes, I will go lower. Simple as that. Not to this level maybe, although it's quite interesting, but to the 0.98 zone initially. I'll target that one. I'll target the 0.98, and if we clear that one, then yes, I'll go further south towards the current lowest point of March near the 0.9706 zone, and then we'll take it from there. For the upside, I need to see a push above this downside line, above the 0.9, well, actually above the 1 psychological 1 level. If we clear that, then yes, I will go to the upside here a little bit. I do have a bunch of other little obstacles which I will consider. But my main one is the 1.01 level, approximately around here, guys. 1.01 if we do clear the 1 psychological 1 level. And finally, EURUSD. So yeah, still above this upside line, still doing nothing. Look, I'm gonna remove this 1.0930. I think it's no longer valid. Although, okay, look, it's kind of acting as a bit of a resistance right now, but you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it for now. The 1.0930. I still somehow like this area, but if we do push back above it, I'll go towards the current highest point of April near the 1.0973. But if that gets cleared, then yes, my next target is the 1.10 or the 1.1033 level. and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, I need to see a break of this upside line, and then I'll start shifting my attention to the 1.0788 right here, or this 50-day EMA, and then we'll take it from there, guys. So long story short, again, keep your eyes on the NFPs today. Let's see how that's going to play out. If the number comes out much lower, let's say lower than the forecast, lower than well, actually lower than the forecast, and unemployment rate goes kind of to the downside, to the upside, unemployment rate increases, then we could have a situation of a weaker dollar, guys, and maybe this could give a boost to the to Euro USD, and we could see this one pushing a little bit higher. So just kind of keep that in mind. So guys, yeah, that's it for this session. Look, happy Easter to all the Catholic viewers there. Congratulations, have a nice time off. Look, I'll see you back on Monday. By the way, just to let you know, next week, Friday, I'm going to be off, and Monday, Tuesday, well, the week after, I'm going to be off. But next week, Monday, from Monday to Thursday, we'll have the daily pitch. So yep, join me on Monday, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time. But guys, look, just use this day to kind of just search the market, search for different opportunities, look at the technicals, look at the fundamentals, just to see what's happening in general. Maybe try to see something, maybe you've missed out on something. Just, it's a good day to do that. So research, do a bit of research, and everything will be fine, guys. So prepare yourself for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next week on Friday. So yeah, let's see, and don't forget to rest during the weekend. Yep, promise me. But yeah, guys, have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful day today, of course, and yes, have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday, 6 o'clock GMT time. Thank you very much, and bye-bye. Hey there, thank you very much for watching this one till the end. I really appreciate that. So like this video, we speculate your next mouse movement will be towards the subscribe button.